Well, good morning. You might have noticed a very large char mark on our brand new wood mantle behind me, and well, that's exactly what that is. See, I was cleaning up around the property, and I had a ton of cardboard lying around, and I stuffed the fireplace full and kind of turned it into an incinerator, and big fire. Oh my goodness, it's so hot. Well, the flames licked out of the firebox and charred the mantle. Now, this is not the end of the world. I can sand it right off and put it back exactly how it was, but I'm leaving it there for a while because the color's kind of growing on me, maybe not that dark, but I might go ahead and char the rest of the beam to give it a darker, contrasty look. Especially now that it's just recently rained and the wood is wet. I love the darker hues here. I might go ahead and char it not this deep, but kind of a medium tone, as well as stain it to keep this darker feel long term. Buongiorno!
Buongiorno. Hai già usato?
Sì.
Funziona?
Un po' troppo. All right, so my excitement level for finishing off this fireplace has just shot through the roof as we've been spending the last hour or two discussing what we're going to be doing for the roof over top of the mantle, the hood of the chimney. I'm not sure what exactly you call that. We had one plan before, and we've decided to just take things one step further as we keep doing with this fireplace and give it a nod to the old style of roofing in this area, in this valley, which you'll have to wait and see what they do. It's going to be a really special treat to cap off this fireplace mantle, and it'll allow me to learn one more new local-only skill for masonry. But first, we're going to focus on finishing up the floor of the firebox before we move on to the roof. Bye, bye, bye.
Anche pezzi piccoli va bene. Il tema è così. La prima va tenuta. La prima devi tenerla a pari. L'altra va così. C'è l'acqua, va giù qua, però trova pieno sotto e va via.
So I love the roof on this house, but it was redone about 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So it's not the original roof. The original roof would have been just stunning, as every single stone would have been hand-shaped. Now in today's time, it's not a very practical roof as they do leak quite a bit. Today's roof is much better for our purposes, but hand-shaped stone shingles on the roof do look incredibly gorgeous. So for the fireplace, we're going to give an homage back to the original roofs that would have existed in this valley, and every single stone tile will be hand-shaped. Bravo! Bravo. I don't know if you can see on camera how close that was, but you've got like less than half an inch here. Less than half an inch here. I was not guiding him at all. Well, that gave me nightmarish flashbacks to when we had to carry all of the stones and mortar up to build up the wall and the chimney, and I'm thankful to be past that, and the work today is a lot easier. If I climb up these stairs, you can get a better view, but that is a lot of stones for the roof there, and realistically, I'm guessing that's about 1/3 of what we'll need to have to build up the angled slope right here. If you're wondering why we didn't use the motorized wheelbarrow like we normally do to move the stones, well, I went to start it and this is what happened. So unfortunately, I do believe that it's out of commission for the foreseeable future until I can find someone smarter than me to tear it apart and fix this. So this will act as our vapor barrier to the mantle beneath to keep the wood from getting too wet. But it also allows the wood to dry out and for that moisture to evaporate. This is the same stuff that you use on roofs. Now, does it matter in this circumstance? Is it more beneficial? I have no idea, but it's what we have lying around. Our propane is empty and it's stuck on. There's something wrong with this. It's like frozen right onto here. So I can't swap out the tank, which means I can't make coffee. And if you can't make coffee, you can't keep people happy, and that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to find a solution. That's actually worse than breaking the motorized wheelbarrow. We have regular wheelbarrows lying around, but we need coffee. There's no pretending there. Out of all the jobs that we do, unloading a pallet of cement is by far the worst. Ugh.
Basta, basta.
Well, most of you will know that we've been using our RioLink camera since the very first day that we set foot on this property. We've had the opportunity to test out a huge variety of cameras from RioLink. They are really our one-stop shop for user-friendly DIY home security. Today I'm installing the Argos Eco Ultra, which is a great entry-level camera. It's battery-powered, 4K, fantastic picture and audio quality. And it's of course Wi-Fi capable, so you don't have to stretch any wires. The camera itself has a fantastic battery life and can record directly to the camera, but the real magic comes in with the RioLink Home Hub. You can think of the Home Hub as your central management system for all of your cameras. You can connect up to 8 cameras to this Home Hub. It's got 2 little micro SD slots in the back for recording. It comes with a 64 gig micro SD card, so you can record a ton of footage with that. But rather than each camera recording to their own devices, it streams all of that footage back to this device, and you can keep it stored on one central unit that lives inside of your house for security. With the RioLink app, you can swipe between all of your different cameras quite easily and have real-time access to high-definition footage. They do sell these as a kit, so you can grab a 2-camera kit or a 4-camera kit, or you can mix and match and build your own home security system. But realistically, the whole thing is really easy to set up. It takes less than 2 minutes to connect the camera, to install it, to mount it. The whole thing is very user-friendly and DIY-friendly, which is what we love about RioLink so much. RioLink has a huge variety of cameras, from PoE cameras to 4G enabled cameras, Wi-Fi cameras, solar powered cameras, battery powered cameras, all the variety of cameras that you could ever imagine. For us, it's been great to have the cameras to check in on the property when we're gone, but also for those surprise moments when you have a huge herd of goats roaming through your property. Those are always fun to catch on camera. But then of course having the peace of mind that the security cameras give you from a home security perspective. I know based on reading the comments of our past videos that so many of you have also purchased RioLink cameras and have installed them around your property and have enjoyed using them. But if you haven't checked out RioLink, I would recommend you go ahead and check out the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen. Scroll through the website, look at all the different variety of cameras they have. But with that, thank you so much to RioLink for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back at it. So I know that he's only laid the very first stone, but already I'm getting really, really excited and glad that we've kind of pivoted to this new direction of a roof over top of the mantle, because I can tell as he's just laid the second stone, it's gonna be just epic. those for? Oh my goodness. So this huge pile of thin stones behind me is the result of a lot of hours of sorting while we're excavating. Remember, all of the stones have come from excavation on the property, including these small thin stones. And if you remember, as we were excavating, if I would see a small, delicate stone, a thin stone like the ones behind me, I would grab them, separate them out, and begin slowly piling them up here, originally for another purpose. But I'm quite happy to be using these for what we are today.
Devi fare la piscina quest'estate.
Quest'estate no, ma forse dopo. So earlier on our coffee break, Alessio was teaching me both how we're going to do this cover as well as how they would have done the original roofs hundreds of years ago. See, today we have the modern luxury of being able to make mortar, which was not a luxury 100, 200 years ago. People weren't exactly grinding up limestone and firing it to make their own mortar. So instead they would gather all of these stones, shape them to roughly about the same thickness as we are doing today, and then simply stack them on top of each other and allow the sheer weight and pressure of the roof itself to hold itself together. If you saw the video where we cut a hole in the roof to place in the skylight, you would have seen that modern day slate tiles are held together with nails. Well, with stones as thick as what we're using today and what they would have used hundreds of years ago, a nail would simply not hold that into place. So they were held there often at very steep vertical inclines and just held there in place simply by the weight of it. Alessio was telling me that as time goes on, eventually those stones start to slide out from underneath each other. And back then you wouldn't even have had a waterproof barrier to stop rain from coming through. So you'd be able to see and look right up into the roof and see the actual stones while you were inside of the cabin. And there definitely are still some remaining examples of beautiful stone roofs around this area that have lasted for just hundreds and hundreds of years. And I really should go and take a trip and bring a camera and show you guys a few examples of that. But with that, it's time to get back to shaping stones. So even though you might think that this is basically the same exact process as we've been going through with shaping the stone, I'm actually finding it to be rather challenging, as these thin stones, they break really easily. So what I'm learning is you have to take it very slowly and slowly work your way back. So for example, on this one, I need to shave off that much. But if I were to try to do that straight away, it would shatter the entire stone. So instead, you have to very slowly work your way back to the line. What that means is that each stone takes a little bit longer as you're being patient and delicate with it. But it also means less fatigue on your body. Since you're not slamming so hard on the stone, you have to very gently chip away at it.
Desculpa, basta.
So one interesting difference about the way we're shaping these stones is that we're doing the majority of the shaping at the stone pile before we bring the stones over to the chimney. And the reason why is because so many of them break, and why bother wasting your energy carrying something over that's just going to break anyway. So we take the stones to about 90% complete here to make sure they don't break, and then carry them over. Well, forgive the mud all over my face, but we are wrapping things up now. We're about 2/3 of the way finished, and I'm so excited to show you guys the finished results. It's all kind of covered up in scaffolding right now, so it's difficult for me to get those final reveal shots, but come back next week. We've got 1/3 more to go, as well as some exciting stuff happening on the inside of the house. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.